All right, everybody who's here, give me like 1 second. I'm gonna go get a quick beverage, a bevy, if you would. And I'll be right back. All right, I have returned. We're here now. All right, is everybody ready for the jump scare? Jump scare happening in 3, 2, 1. Ah! Hi. It's a jump scare for me more than anything because I'm just so curious what my hair looks like whenever I whenever I start this up. Hi, everybody. How are we doing? Hopefully we're doing good. You turn down the brightness a little bit so you're not blinded by the paleness of my skin. There we go. Sweet. That looks a little bit better. Okay. Hi. If you're new to the channel, welcome on in. We're just vibing right now, but effectively what I want to go over today in our little live stream that we're doing here is I want to take a look at the results, the final results of the Battle Hardened in Valencia. And that is going to be very, very good to go over. I thought they were going to go show stage on live stream. They are not. I knew they weren't going to because this is, and so for the record, Skates, this is kind of my biggest gripe, and I do want to make sure that this is like you know, said right. If LSS is at all watching a live stream like this, which I don't expect them to, or anybody who might have in contact with LSS, I don't understand, and I get it because like obviously the world premiere is truly the introduction of Sage, and that this is an early access thing, but I think a lot of people would have at least loved to have seen maybe 1 or 2 games of Silver Age over the course of the recent Valencia livestream. I know it is not the fault of the casters or anything of the sort. I'm not sure if it's based on a scheduling thing. I'm not sure what it is, but I knew deep down in my heart, because they never show the Battle Hardened, they only ever show the calling, because that's the bigger prize on the line, right? Is it the calling? So I knew they weren't going to do that, but gosh, did it suck to not see anything. Yeah, what's up, aggro? You changed the format with bands and pen, but I love they're doing tournaments. Sweet. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy they're doing tournaments also. I just wish we could have seen some publication for them. You know what I mean? Like, nobody online seems to have taken any kind of video or anything of the sort of what had happened at Valencia. What we do know is this, right? These are the round 1 standings, so we can obviously take a look at the heroes that were presented in round 1. But if we go back and we take a look at the final standings of this format, you will see there are 8 heroes and only 2 of them are chain this time around. So as opposed to the previous the previous findings of everything that happened in Tokyo, we see that is Chain a very good hero? Of course, but there are also other heroes that are contention for top of the meta. The before we even get into like the heroes, right? Obviously, Chain took down, I believe it's Peter or Petter. I'm assuming it's Peter Olsen. Congrats on taking down the very first Silver Age Battle Hardened on Chain. That's super awesome. You'll also notice that there are some pretty notable names on this list of individuals, such as Ian Zhang, World's finalist quarterfinalist, right? Yeah. Finalist nonetheless. He got to top 8. That's crazy. Ian made third place. What I believe to be third place on Ira Crimson Haze. So when Ira did make it to the top of the tables in this format, Pablo Pintor on Chain made it to 4th place in this event. Arthur Trehay made it to 7th place in this format on Bravo Flattering Showman. Like, there are some pretty significant names in the world of Flesh and Blood. And to see multiple individuals pop in for this is super cool. And I love to see that it's gotten the attention of pro players who want to take on a Battle Hardened. But the results of this format are pretty much exactly what I expected, right? Young hero formats get dominated by heroes who have really powerful hero powers and also can present a large amount of damage without sacrificing defense. Or they have no defense at all and their damage is through the roof. That is obviously when we take a look at the Runeblade and Guardian problem that I believe a lot of us are going to be running into when we get into more competitive Silver Age gameplay. Because these would have been really interesting games to watch. I do truly think that this would have been just such an insane thing to see the Chain versus Briar game at the end here in the finals. But more specifically, we can see that much as it is the case in formats left unchecked, Runeblade and Guardian and Ninja do very, very well. And it's good that they do very well, right? I'm happy that they do well. Again, you have to realize that currently there are 58 heroes in the current meta of Silver Age. You're not going to be able to fit all those names up here, right? It's just not going to happen. You're not going to have all these names up here. But what you do want to see is what pushes through to the end here. And we can see that obviously Runeblades have a very good card pool. Guardians have a very good card pool. And that is what is going to kind of push them above everything else. Ira also having one of the most consistent hero powers in the entirety of Flesh and Blood is certainly helpful to making sure that that is the case, in which Ira gets to take home some prize money there. So that is a very interesting thing to see, that we have now this very prevalent understanding of where these might be. You know, previously in Tokyo, it was 5 Chains, 2 Oldems, and a Valda. So 3 Guardians, 5 Runeblades. This one is, 4 Runeblades, 3 Guardians, and 1 Ninja. So what I wanted to also do is kind of take a look at what the field looked like going into this and seeing what we had. If we take a look at the standings, I guess we could also probably do this, right? It's probably going to be more visual. Yeah. So if we take a look here, we've got some people who, oh, well, that's crazy. Paul, it looks like Paul signed up for this, but proceeded to go ahead and just win the calling instead, so didn't show up for their match. Pretty funny. But I believe what we'll see is we'll see a lot of individuals showing up on Azalea, Chain, obviously, and Briar. We are seeing, let's actually see how many people showed up. Let's just check the standings, right? The standings after round 1. There were 128 entries into the Battle Hardened for Silver Age, which is pretty good. Now, whether or not some of those individuals showed up is completely different. Brody Spurlock did not end up making it in there. Paul Van Heysel, we all know, definitely was. He went on to go win the calling, so didn't have time to do that. That's a good call. Yeah, it is a fairly normal Battle Hardened attendance for sure. So let's take a look here, right? If we do Azalea, there are 16 entries of Azalea on this list. So 16 Azalea. Let's see how many chain showed up. 24 chain. We have... Well, this is going to be kind of odd because is there only one individual with an IRA in their name? Yes. There were 25 IRA. Let's write this down here, right? Let's just get a notebook. So 25 Ira. What did it say? 24 chain. 16 Azalea. Let's see. Oldhim. 5 Oldhim. Intro. 5 Oldhim. 5 Oldhim. And then what else? Briar. 27 Briar. Nobody with a name of Briar? No. 27 Briar. Okay. Woo-wee. All right. So 27 Briar. And then we're probably... That's right. Yeah, KO. It should just be KO. I'm sure nobody put in Berserker Runt, but they could have. 4 KO. 4 KO. If we do Bravo, Flattering Showman, there were 6 Bravo, Flattering Showman. Flarvo. 6 Flarvo. Let's just do the math here on this one. I'm gonna X this up here. Boop, boop, there we go. So what's the math on this so far? How many were we missing? I'm sure there's a lot of outliers in this one here. So 27 plus 25 plus 24 plus 16 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6. 107 of the participants out of 128. So there's some outliers here, right? A couple other individuals were probably playing something different. I see a Pleiades. I see an Arachne Solitary Confinement. I see an Icelander. Let's see, what else? I guess we could probably just write these down here. So let's see. Pleiades. There were 2 Pleiades. Pleiades. How about Arachne? 2 Arachne Solitary. 2 Arachne Solitary Confinement. I should just put ASC. Any other individuals with Phi? Phi? There were... Nope, some of them have Phi in the name. Let's just double check this, right? Let's go. That person dropped, so wasn't there. 1, 2, 3. 3 Phi. 3 Phi. Let's see, who else? I know there was an Icelander. 3 Icelander. Are there any Kano? That would be very interesting to see. Oldhim, Azalea. Was there a Betsy? I'll have to look. I will have to look and see. Briar, Chain, Phi, Valda, Brightaxe. So somebody brought the Valda deck. So, is that 2 Valda decks? 2 Valda decks. 2 Valda. There is a Kano. I see them there. Kano. 2 individuals on Kano. 2 Kano. And then I think that's it. Does that cover the rest of it? I feel like I saw another hero in here that was a little Dorinthia. Dorinthia. I'm curious if anybody played Olympia. Let's check. Nope. Nobody cared for the spice of Olympia. So that doesn't help my testing at all. Yeah, Briar. Oh, there's a Betsy right there. Well, I'll be damned. Betsy. Cool. 1 Betsy. I think that's it. So we do that, and then it's +2, +2, +3, +3, +2, +2, +1, +1. 123 players. So there's probably some other outliers out of 128. Who else brought something weird? I did put Oldhim in there, right? Oldhim's in that list. 5 Oldhim. Aurora. There's 1 Aurora. Some didn't enter heroes. Yeah, those individuals, though, they have that, right? So obviously, like, 2 of these, like a Phi and an Ira, I guess, technically, should be brought down. Because it counted that there, too. But these are 128 individuals here. I think... Yeah, these ones don't have. Brody Smurlock, I see. So they're up here. So, okay. So then... Yeah, so the duplicate entries kind of throw a lot of that off. But anyway, so it's probably right around 123-ish players, probably. And this looks to be what we kind of have so far. So 27 Briar, 24 Ira, 24 Chain, 16 Azalea, 5 Oldhim, 4 KO, 6 Flarvo, 2 Pleiades, 2 Solitary Confinement, 3 Phi, 3 Icelander, 2 Valda, 2 Kano, 1 Dory, 1 Betsy, 1 Aurora. Is kind of looking like, but this is the chunk of it. Briar, Ira, Chain, and Azalea, which is very interesting to me because I certainly would have imagined there would have been more Oldhim representation in this format. But if we take a look at the end after 7 rounds, you'll see that this is obviously your top 8, right? And then there were some Iras in the top. Let's even just go as far as the top 16, right? You have Icelander made it to 16th place, Briar, Azalea, Ira, Chain, Bravo, Ira. So kind of a mixed bag there. How about 17th through 24th? Briar, Ira, Oldhim, Briar, Ira, Briar, Chain. So, and then Briar, Chain, Briar. So it's... You can tell that there's a lot of Runeblade representation at these things here. I'm always curious to see the list. The lists are not up for these yet. But it is very, it is looking a lot like my fear for what the current, season 0 is of Sage is confirmed, in which Runeblades are just the best. And then Guardians are pretty much right on their up as well. Obviously, if you take a really good player and put them on a really good hero like Ira, also does very well. But not anything out of the ordinary, right? This was the thing here. So, yeah, this is all the final standings and stuff. No deck list that yet though. So we don't have any deck lists quite yet. But hopefully at some point here, we'll get them. But it is very interesting. Again, it looks like Guardians and Runeblades. If you like Guardians and you like Runeblades, this is going to be a great format for you. If for any reason you decide that you want to do something else, it can be either Ira or Azalea. Other than that, it's probably not going to do great into the field, which is kind of rough. So, but this is, of course, Season 0, right? Pen is not out yet. Pen will, in fact, change the way that this format is played. Although some of those defense reaction cards do go in a Guardian. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah, the Hood, Zen, and Sage, the combo turns are so good, but you can also break hands. Yeah. And that's the thing, right? I think the important information when it comes to like hands in at least like young hero formats, and like correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody else has a different understanding of it, but effectively my whole thing is that hold on, I gotta add a thing here. Where the hell is that? There it is. Bop. This one. Sweet. My whole thing is that if you get a brick hand, it is so difficult for you to come up. The lists are up now? Hold on. Hold. I'm not seeing lists. Hang tight. Oh, there they are. Okay, hold on. Bop. We're back. We're back to this. Okay, so let's pull up Peter's list, Ennis's list, Ian Zhang's list, Pablo's list, and let's also take a look at a Flattering Showman list. Let's take a look at Arthur Trehe's Flattering Showman list. I think this will give us a general idea of kind of what we're looking at here. Chain, Briar, Ira, see if Chain is different here than it is here, and then Arthur Trehe. So, taking a look at the winning Chain list. Just really don't want to play as a Runeblade. Yeah, I feel you. I think that's really it, right? Is that like sometimes it's hard to be the villain, right? And so in this scenario, it's kind of choose your flavor. Do you want to be a tanky Guardian with some disruption, or do you want to be a Runeblade with split damage, right? That's kind of the change here. But yeah, no, for sure, Aggro. I'm happy to see it wasn't all Chain and Guardian. You know, obviously Ian Zhang being able to get up there with Ira was also really good, but I think Ira's kind of like a given that she is pretty good, at least from my understanding, because I do play a lot of Commoner, or did play a lot of Commoner. And that's just kind of it, right? Like if your numbers are really good in a low level, like a low, like in a vacuum effectively, right? If your numbers are better than another person's numbers, it's just the best, right? I'm telling you, there was not a single Olympia in this entire event. Not a single Olympia. So let's maybe shake things up a little bit when we go to Seattle, folks, huh? Anybody going to Seattle for the Sage Battle Hardened? I have a list for you. Build said list and come back and tell me how it worked, because I'm not going to be able to go there. Okay, so taking a look here at the list, right? It's a pretty standard breakdown here of what their stuff is. They're not on Sutcliffe's because really you don't need the go again on something, I think. I think it's pretty much just better to block since 6 and 6, or even 6 and 7, whatever it might be. The format is say Season 0 beta testing. The format is still too much like Commoner plus the good and bad stuff that Commoner have. Oh, for sure. And that's exactly how it's going to be in Season 0, right? Again, things are going to change when Pen comes out. I know that for certain. I'm sure a lot of you know that for certain. It's going to be different when Pen comes out. Is it going to be better? I don't know, but it will be different. And that is kind of the important part here. So taking a look here again, Blade Beckoners in the boot slot, as well as Null Rune boots. Everything else pretty much stays. Ebon Folds to get your cards into your grave or into your banish zone. And then it's just a bunch of very like big runechant creation cards, right? The Blessing of Occult is crazy. Arcane Cussing is like almost risky, but you do have access to Bloodtorn Bodice, so you can destroy it to get some runechants there. You're playing the red in yellow, or the red Delight in Whale, and then you're also playing Banshee Phantom Wraith. You're on your Spellblade Assaults. I'm curious if this is the all Spellblade Assaults. Just red and blue Spellblade Assault. They're playing Hocus Pocus in blue. This seems more like a... This is a lot more defense reactions in it than I expected it to. Both red and yellow reduced to Runechant and Sigil of Suffering. Only one pummel and only 8 blues to pay for Putrid, I guess. That's kind of interesting. I'd be curious to see what the sideboard is kind of looking like for this one here, but it just looks like essentially you're making a bunch of Runechants, sending a large physical attack at your opponent, and then you are sending a large amount of arcane against that as well, because that's kind of what you want to do, right? Yeah, Rainbow Phantom Wraith is interesting, right? But this makes a little bit more sense because you being able to make 2 Runechants is far easier, especially if you're playing Spellblade Assault. Spellblade Assault makes 2 Runechants, so it's along the same vein of you activate Chain's ability, you play Spellblade Assault, it makes 2 Runechants, you then play your Phantom Wraith from your Banish Zone, you pass your turn. And so in the scenario, being able to push that through is very good. You're essentially doing like brute numbers, but split amongst what do you call it? Arcane and physical. So, I mean, hey, it looks like a pretty fun list. I gotta say, the pummel is gonna get a lot of people. Putrid Stirrings being able to give +5. If you can combo this, right? If you can live long enough to where you're just going to be able to combo, I think that's the concept here, right? Is that you can use these D-reacts to make yourself Runechants and also whittle down your opponent with something like Sigil of Suffering. And then it's just send, get these Putrid Stirrings in your Banish Zone, and then Putrid, Spellblade Assault with Go Again into Phantom Wraith is crazy. But like, I don't know how you have the resources for that, I guess. So that's my other thing. But maybe I'm missing the curve on the one additional resource here. Because I mean, you would need 2 blues, right? You need 3 blues. You need 3 blues. Yeah, blue for Putrid, Chain ability, blue for Spellblade Assault in Arsenal, create 2 Runechants, send 4 and 2, or send 4 and whatever amount of Runechants you have up already, and then send a Phantom Wraith for 11, 17, 16 with 2 chants. That's like your opponent's whole hand. So that's kind of rough. We'll have to test this later today. I'm going to test this list and see what we like about it. No Scurv in the event. Wasn't there a lot of talk about how good he was? Yeah, there were a lot of talk. I mean, I think really the thing is that deck cares a lot about money or your life. Because it cares about money or your life so much, it's definitely not as like prominent of a thing. You're not really, not much of your other stuff in your deck does anything good. If you can play money or your life and you can pair it with a pummel and it hits, sure, right? Tons of value. But the whole deck relies on that. And most of the cards in your deck do not block very well. A lot of them are 2 blocks. It's just not that great. But yeah, money or your life and pummel is really nasty if your opponents don't know what that card does. But other than that, the hero power isn't really super relevant. You get a companion, which I guess is like kind of cool, but I don't think that it's nothing a staunch response can't handle. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the whole concept. And with Guardians all over the place, you're not really going to be able to get around that. And because you can't, it's going to be rough. So taking a look at the second place Briar list here by Ennis. This is, well, pretty standard block everything deck here. You've got all the Blade Beckoner besides the arm piece. It looks like you're keeping Bracers of Belief for everything, which makes sense because you're probably an all red line deck. If I were to take a gander and a guess, it's probably an all red line deck. So playing Bracers of Belief for another +2 is pretty good. You've got a bunch of different. Scepter of Pain is very interesting in here too. Spellfray Tiara, Bloodtorn Bodice, Scepter of Pain. This is like a crazy pivot. Usually you just expect people to be on Starfall. Yeah, 3 weapons. Yeah, I wonder what Scepter's for also. That would be something. I wonder if it's just people are maybe not bringing in AB into some heroes. Because, like, you can only play this in this. So, like, there's got to be some kind of, like, defensive game plan. You're playing Polarities, Arcane Seeds, Life, Burn Up Shock, Arcane Shockwave, all's good there. Captain's Call, so just another way for you to get additional damage as well as make that Embodiment of Lightning token. You have Entwined Lightning, Flittering Charge, Jack Be Quicks, because of course you're still running the Nimblisms. This all looks pretty stock standard. Reinforce Alliance, pretty cute. This is a great way to get around, like, you know, Dominate. It's a great way to get around. Really, it's just dominate, overpower. That's how you get around that stuff. It's also technically the response to pummel, right? Like if you're blocking 6 and your opponent sends a pummel, you can play this in response to give something +4 defense value, which will cover it, much like Sink Below would. So, kind of interesting there. Star for a Scar, Second Strike, Sigil, Sizzle, Skizzik, Snatch. What in the world? All right, so I'm going to be entirely honest. I don't know what this is for. What is the reason to Scepter of Pain and Bloodied Oval? When are you turtling so much? I wonder if it's like a counter. I wonder if it's a counter aggro plan, but that wouldn't make any sense. Because, like, you're not getting Embodiment of Earths by not attacking. So, like, why would you just be blocking a whole bunch and then not doing that? You're not going to get Embodiment of Earth. But I guess Chain also might not block you. If Chain doesn't block you, then you get an Embodiment of Earth. That is interesting. So the combo here is, right, you can play Reaping Blade. Reaping Blade probably goes with Garland. So you can probably play Helm, Garland, Reaping Blade, or Starfall, Bracers of Belief, and Beckoner Boots. That's probably like the normal loadout. And then if you need to block more, you just switch out your chest piece and then add in the Bloodied Oval and the Scepter of Pain. The Bloodtorn Bodice destroying an aura to get a thing. That doesn't help pay for anything. Is it so you can just... I wonder if this is so you can destroy, like, a Bloodrot Pox token. Bodice might be to destroy tokens that are given to you as ailments. Garland, on the other hand, might just be in case you want to send one of these 2 weapons. I would imagine Garland is your standard, right? And plating is if you're going to be on the defensive, because you're probably not going to be playing either of these 2 weapons. You're probably playing Bloodied Oval and Scepter. What if this is like a psyop? You know what I mean? Like, what if this is just they never, ever, ever put Scepter of Pain into their main slot ever? And this is just a psyop of like, oh, I just had a slot open and I figured, why not Scepter of Pain? It's crazy. Huh. Yeah, I mean, just like, I'm not sure if it's specifically related to... I would think the only thing that would, like, ruin the game plan overall is something like, okay, you know, a Bloodrot Pox token. Like, maybe you take additional damage from an infecting shot, and that gets you additional value on... You know, it's like, okay, cool, this is going to kill you, but you can kill them if you keep a card. You get to keep a card, and then you get to destroy it, but by then you've probably already popped your Bloodtorn Bodice. You also don't have, I mean, it looks like the only thing you are using that one resource for at all is to pay for your weapon. Like nothing else. There is not a damn blue in sight in this deck. This is, oh, sorry. There's 2 flourish in the deck. So 2 yellow flourish, and the rest of these are red cards. Huh. I could probably take an understanding that maybe this is a technicality. Like, if you just never got a Runeblade hand throughout the course of your entire run, sure, you make it to top 8 for sure. You probably even do that getting into top 2, right? If you just never miss, and you're always sending like 10 into 4 into 4 every single turn with like a bunch of on hits. Probably pretty good, but like Scepter of Pain, again, Scepter of Pain does not make any sense because you have to pitch 2 reds to that. Like your odds of you having a yellow are bad. So I wonder if it's just like the only weapon that allowed you, that you could run, because I guess it is, right? It's the only one-handed Runeblade weapon you can have that allows you to play it with a Bloodied Oval. So it might just be, do I want more block value into my opponent? Don't worry about Scepter of Pain. Like, sure, it's there if you're trying to ping them for something, but in the most cases, you are just... It's also a filter target, too. So, like, if you're stuck with something in hand that doesn't really sync very well, you can filter it into making a rune chant, get yourself set up for something on your own turn. But you're probably not doing that. Very interesting. Okay, well, that's Briar. Let's go ahead and see what Ian Zhang's Ira looks like. Looks pretty stock standard. Oh, I see Mask of Many Faces. Does this mean what I think it does? There it is. Oh no, it made it to the freaking top 8. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I didn't expect this. I did not expect this. I did not expect Life of the Party Ira to make it. There's no way. Oh, this is so Jover. Oh. If you want to see why Sage is weird as hell right now, it's because you get to do stuff like this. Life of the Party Ira is currently a thing that's very real in this meta. So, 2 Kodachis, your Tiger Armor. Excuse me, golly. Yeah, working as intended. Your Tiger Armor plus your Blade Beckoner Helm, that's your standard stock loadout there, unless you are trying to uber combo your opponent in a way that is going to shut them down forever, and that is Mask of Many Faces. Now, I'm curious if you play Mask into aggro, Blade Beckoner into... Blade Beckoner into, like... heroes that have Dominate and things like that, where you want more block power in your armor, because like this blocks, but you don't get the ability. And then of course AB3. But yeah, Life of the Party. So if those of you who don't know what Life of the Party does, this is some jank shit. Effectively, the concept here is that you can destroy your headpiece here to name a card, and the next attack action you play this turn gets that name. So you can play any of your attack actions, like, you know, Bittering Thorns or Scar for a Scar or looking for a scrap or what, you know, whatever, what have you, right? You can play those, and then you can, you know, you're going to use this before then, right? So you're going to play that, you're going to attack with a Kodachi, then you're going to pay one of your floating resources into this card to make the next name of a card Crazy Brew. So let's say you then spend one more resource to swing a Bittering Thorns for 4. It'll be for 5, actually, technically, right? So Bittering Thorns comes in for 5. Let's say your opponent only blocks 3, and they take 2. Now the next attack gets +1 from Bittering Thorns. You then play Life of the Party, which is you may discard or destroy a card you control named Crazy Brew rather than pay Life of the Party's cost. And And if you do, choose all modes, otherwise choose one at random. And each mode says life of the party gets when this hits, gain 2 life, life of the party gets +2, and life of the party gets go again. So what you do is you just destroy the previous attack on the combat chain because it's named Crazy Brew. This comes in for if Bittering Thorns hit, for example, 7, go again, on hit, gain 2 life. For 0. For 0 resources. I mean, technically it costs you a whole resource to name a thing. So in a weird pseudo way, it's like a 1 for 7 with go again. So, but at the end of the day, like, it's still pretty good. I think the thing that's weirder about this is that there's not a whole lot of like the 1 for 4 go again cards. It looks to be like it's a pretty high focus on the send these 2 power attacks instead of the 1 power, or the 2s, like Kadachi 5 into Kadachi, or it could be like Kadachi into 7, right? I think that's truly kind of been like the ultimate goal of Ira for a really long time. This seems to kind of embody that. Of course, Sirens of Safe Harbor being very good in here. Bluster Buff is a 1 for 6. Technically it's a 2 for 6, but it's a 1 for 5. So you can pump it if anything, right? This essentially can be both modes. I think that's a crazier thing to think about. Bluster Buff, you can do Kadachi, Bluster Buff for 5, or you can do Kadachi, Bluster Buff for 7, because you're just paying 2 resources into this too. So you're sending that kind of damage no matter which way you slice it with this one here. Cut Through is just really good because your opponent normally is not going to block the first Kadachi, because they're not. Cut Through is definitely going to come through for 4 go again, which is always very good. Humble, of course, shuts down hero powers. Looking for a scrap, you're going to have a ton of these in your graveyard because they're blue block 3s and they all have 1 power. Well, most of them have 1 power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 of them have 1 power. So that'll be easy to get to. Springboard Somersault, it's just sink below effectively if you can get in an arsenal, so you park that there. And then of course you just try to kill your opponent with Razor Reflex. Sound the Alarm's really good into heroes that have attack reactions, so warriors, assassins, just being able to say, okay, cool, give me my defense reaction, and then you get to park it in the arsenal and you're in a good spot. So yeah, I mean, it seems pretty real. I don't know that it's like, that's the thing, is it's not exactly like a trick, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you're actually getting a bunch of value by your opponent not knowing anything about that, because at the end of the day, you as the opponent are really just trying to do your game plan, right? This Life of the Party build is more so a, well, if I happen to have the resources and I have Life of the Party in my hands and I did not destroy my mask to Blade Break, I guess I can do that. And that's a great way to go about starting this. So all I'm saying is I think it's a very niche, interesting way to go about sending a lot of damage, because very well, you know, if you have enough cards in your hand, right? What is that? 2 blues like this in Arsenal, a Bittering Thorns, and a Cut Through, right? Let's just assume that that's what we're looking at here. We can pitch a blue into Kadachi. Kadachi will hit. You can then play Cut Through for 4 or 5, go again. You can then pay another resource into Mask of Many Faces. And then you can name Bittering Thorns as Crazy Brew. You can send Bittering Thorns in for 4 at a break point, and then you can destroy the Bittering Thorns to come in for 7. And I think you still have a blue left. So you only need 1 blue. So you could even replace it with another card, like a Looking for a Scrap. Well, you'd probably want something like a Scar for a Scar or something. So like pitch a blue, Scar. Well, you don't have a pitch. Scar for 4. This for 2. Bittering Thorns. I mean, there's a lot of lines that are available, but the concept of it being is like you only ever get to do this once. And I think that's kind of where the weird thing is that running 2 of them, it just means you see it early. but you're never going to be able to get that same effect again. Instead, you're just going to be able to pay 2, and then this will come in for 5. So you can go Kodachi for 1 and then into 5 here. But you can also give it +2 to make it 7. So, I mean, like, it's not terrible, but I guess it's at random. So you just roll the dice effectively. That rolling of the dice might be enough to really make a difference in that match. But crazy to see Life of the Party Ira be in the top tables there. Let's take a look at Pablo's chain list. Pablo was on Sutcliffe's, and pretty much a stock standard stuff here. Is he not? This, Runehold, yeah, okay. So Sutcliffe's is if he needs to go wider, Blade Beckoner Boots is if he needs to block more. This is a bit more standard as to what I expect for the initial list. This is the 6 Spellblade Assault, red and yellow Phantom Wraith, the yellow Deathly Delight, blue Deathly Duet. It's probably just a blue block 3 at that point. Flying High to give your attacks go again. Time Snap Potion to kind of do some additional stuff there. I imagine Time Snap Potion is also like for in case you are sending a Deathly Whale and then it hits and then you pop, you have your Time Snap Potion, you can get another action point afterwards. Springboard Somersault, Sigil of Suffering, Reduce the Rune Chance, the Pummels. I think this is pretty akin to what the individuals at Tokyo were running. So very, I don't know. I'm gonna have to try this list out. Apparently Spellblade Assault is just like the gas. So I'm very curious to see if that is like just the most insane thing. Of course, we do have the Soul Reaping. Soul Reaping just does massive work in this format because you can just literally banish Blood Debt cards from your hand in order to play Soul Reaping. And you get resources based on the ones you banish. So pretty good. So that's Pablo's list here. And then finally, the other one on this list. Was there an Oldham up here? I did not. There was an Oldham. Let me take a look at Oldham. This is the Oldham list that was in the... No, hold on. Yeah, that's right. Yep. So this is the Oldham list that was in the top 8. We have Civic Peak, Civic Steps, Gauntlet of Boulder Hold, and Richter Scale. Very interesting choices. Of course, the Sledge, Titan's Fist, Null Rune Hood Robe, all that jazz. Doesn't look like they're playing Block Slop. This Lay Low is a very interesting... it's just a D-React. It's just a 0 for 3 D-React. But if you're marked, you can't play it. If the attacking hero is marked, their next attack gets -1. You're not going to mark them. But it's a 0 for 3 D-React. I just don't know why you wouldn't play like Springboard Somersault instead. Maybe just because this guarantees 3 block instead of it being like a 2 block from hand or a 4 block from arsenal. This just guarantees 3 additional. Very niche though, I'd imagine. Pretty much just a bunch of blues. It looks like they're on a more of an ice build. So they are kind of hoping for these like very powerful disruptive guardian hits to come through. You have the Renounced Grandeur to have them stop being able to create aura tokens during their next turn. You've got Staunch Response red, no Staunch Response blue. But you do have, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 cards that have the specific element. And all of them are blue. So it's just kind of whatever comes up. If you have an Earth in hand, you can prevent 2 with the Earth card. If you have an Ice card in hand, you can prevent your opponent from going wider by putting that last card in their hand on the top of their deck. It's pretty much just a war of attrition at that point, but Sirens of Safe Harbor in blue makes sense. I would have imagined playing the red is also pretty good, especially if you're on pummels. but I digress. Boulder Drop is just crazy good in this format. You can't really say that's not a good thing. Like, Boulder Drop is just really, really good. Crash and Bash allows you to get those Seismic Surge tokens. Fault Line allows you to get your opponent off an arsenal in case they have a combo piece in there. Glacial Footsteps, because you have 4 ice cards, technically you could pitch stack yourself into having Glacial Footsteps towards the end of the game and send 10 Dominate, which is a lot. You can also send 8 Dominate with the other Glacial Footsteps. This is very good. I think this is just like good Guardian stuff. Yeah, hell yeah, girl. I mean, this is definitely right up your alley as far as I can tell. Like, this is very much so just block out your opponent's stuff with your armor, send Disruption. Block stuff out with your opponent's armor, with your armor, send Disruption. If your opponent isn't at like 5 life after that Disruption, you know, then they're blocking and you get more tempo off of them anyway. So it is very interesting. I do like the kind of mix of earth and ice. I think Winter's Bite also is just like one of the best disruptive cards in the format. So like, that's just so good. The only downfall is that this deck, if they ever run into a new for any reason, is just like fucked. So that's going to be kind of rough if that ends up being the case. But I don't know that many people are going to be playing new because Runeblade seems to be more of a threat than Guardian does at the moment. Well, at least by numbers. So let's move into the Bravo Flattering Showman list. This probably also fits right around that same vein. Yep, Gauntlet of Boulder Hold and Richter Scale, Steps and Duty, along with Blade Beckoner Helm. So you'll see that there is the change here from Richter Scale to Civic Duty. You play Civic Duty if you do not know the tech for Civic Duty. This is a great card to play into Ira. And I know what you're thinking. What the hell? Giving Ira a resource sounds fucking awful. Why would I do that? Well, if you're going to send 9 Dominate at them and really just like destroy their face, they're going to want to start off by pitching a card so that they could swing their Kodachi for 1 and then into 7, or Kodachi into 5, right? That's their normal play line. But if you give them a Vigor because you blocked with Civic Duty, they start the game with 1 resource in their pitch zone already, which means that they cannot pitch a 0-cost blue to give their Kodachis go again. So they effectively either have to send a Kodachi for 1 and pass, unless they have a Razor Reflex, but not even. A Razor Reflex won't even help them. Or they need to hope that they have something like a Bittering Thorns in their hand, or even a Looking for a Scrap, like Ian's deck showed. Because that's just a free resource to be able to use in that function. But sometimes it helps you, but it's usually better towards the end game where you're sending a lot of damage. They have to block with like 2 cards in order for them to preserve their life so they could send a fairly okay chain. And if you block, one of their attacks with just a Civic Duty, and then they have to block with 2 cards, when they start their turn with 2 cards in hand and 1 floating resource, it's oftentimes just like send whatever 6 power attack they had and pass, or send a Kodachi and pass. Sometimes it's just pass. Like, it's really, really disruptive. So it's a very good piece. But taking a look here, I'm assuming it's just going to be Crush Central here, which it looks like it is. Boulder Drop, Choke Slam, Crash and Bash to get you some Seismic Surge tokens, Debilitate, Disable. Edge of Their Seats is an interesting choice. I mean, I guess when you only have 20 life, an additional... I think the benefit of Edge of Their Seats being in the deck is that if you win the die roll and you go... Really, if you go first or second, you have an opportunity to just, like, rip this out of your hand and get tempo back during a big turn, which is pretty good. But it seems to be only 2. They are on a little bit more of the block slop things here, Clash of Chests and Clash of Heads. They're also on yellow Boulder Drop, which is very interesting to me. They're also on the Unmovables and Staunches. Their blue base, though, looks kind of insane. Blue Edge of Their Seats as well. You have Active Glory, blue. Aftershock, blue. Blue Boulder Drop. Buckling Blow, Choke Slam, Debilitate, Disable, those are all normal. Flatten the Field, it's just another crush card that blocks 3. Macho Grande, Thunderquake, Towering Titan. Towering Titan, this thing costs 9. Beginning of your action phase, destroy Towering Titan. Then the next attack that you turn gets +8. So this is very much so a hope you draw the nuts turn like 0 and turn 2, and just like set up a board. Park a crush card in your arsenal, and then just keep 2 blues in your hand and send like 25 dominate. Maybe not 25 dominate, but probably like a lot. I mean, if you end up getting 2 edge of your seats out turn 1, right? And then you take, I mean, this is just OTK. This looks like OTK Bravo. Because what is that? 10 points of damage, right? You have 10 points of damage if you get 2 edge of the seats out, plus 8 points of damage if you end up playing this Towering Titan on turn 2. Then at the beginning of your next action phase, right? Let's say you keep that crush card in your arsenal. The next attack will get plus 18, and then you give it dominate. Because of Bravos, you keep 2 blues in your hand, you give it dominate. So it's 18 plus 8, 26 points of damage. 26 points of damage, dominate. I think that kills most people. I think that actually just decimates most people. So I'm very curious to see how that is, but I mean, hey, Arthur Trehay knows what he's talking about, so. But it's very cool to see the very different lists available here, right? I mean, I'm assuming that Mariano's list is not the same. Yeah, far more. It's just playing all the Civic stuff. This is not even block slop. This is just, I guess it is block stop. Yeah. Test of might, test of strength, test of vigor, unmovable staunches, 1 red pummel, only a couple red crush cards, and then it's a bunch of blues, thunderquakes, flat in the fields, stuff like that. This is very block heavy. This is a hyper fatigue deck, kind of like, oh, I'll give you a thing if it means that, you know, you get to block out the attacks. So very interesting. Very interesting to see. But those look like the decks. That looks like pretty much it. I don't think too much else has come up. We can check out the other Briar list, because this Briar list was just weird. This Briar list looks better. See, I think the Bloodied Oval thing, this is the same thing, except they have Blossom of Spring instead of a one-handed sword or a one-handed weapon. So I wonder if they just send no weapon Briar. I think that's exactly what's happening. I think there's just 0 weapon Briar. It's just an additional point of value. So that way you can get below your opponent's life total, block for 1 on your Bloodied Oval, and then just send a bajillion damage at them because you are playing all reds. This whole deck is reds. Everything in here is reds. There's not a single freaking pitch card, anything that pitches for more than 1 in this entire deck. Interesting. This is about what I expect whenever I see something. And this looks almost identical to the other deck, except they didn't have they don't have Scepter of Pain. They wanted the Blossom of Spring more in that scenario. Very interesting. Very, very interesting stuff, I got to say. Huh. Well, how about that, huh? That's a very, very cool thing. Again, I do wish they streamed like a little bit of it. That would have been really cool. Would have been really cool to see. But I think overall, it was like, it looks like it was a pretty unexpected turnout for the format. Obviously 120 some people in the format are in the battle hardened. Very, very good turnout for that. But for it to be mostly, again, like, you know, our breakdown was what? It was 27 Briar, 24 Ira, 24 Chain, 16 Azalea. The 16 Azalea was really interesting to see none of them in the top 8. There was one in the top 16, but it's going to be something else. I mean, I'm very, very curious to think, like, what is going to happen overall when it comes to this format. What could possibly change in Pen to make Guardian and Runeblade not be at the top tables all the time? I think that's really my thought process, right? Is because if Guardian and Runeblade find themselves at the top tables all the time, we are going to have to take a look at why and which ones are going to need to get a ban. For example, right, you have Bravo Flattering Showman is a deck that is getting a Silver Age deck, a Precon deck. Like, Bravo Flattering Showman is getting a Precon deck, which leads me to believe that Bravo Flattering Showman is going to get good support in Pen for Sage. So that's already one thing. Outside of that, Viserai is getting a new deck, and Viserai might be getting some new things, but those things will more than likely end up being able to be used in Chain as well, which would just do a whole lot in that regard. I think what we can concur about this so far is that it's really come down to the hero powers and the card pools initially. I think when looking at like threats in the meta, hero powers should be here, and then card pools should be here. Card pools can change and shift depending on that, but you can't remove a hero's hero power unless you hit him with Humble. You know what I mean? So I would like to think that it's probably going to be in an okay spot. But at least for now, if you enjoyed playing Briar and Living Legend, probably enjoy playing Briar here. And you can more than likely enjoy playing Chain as well. Chain's just super good in the format. Again, Oldhim does very well. But I'd like to actually play into some of these decks as Decimator Olympia and see if that works. I'm not saying that Decimator Olympia is the truth, but I am saying that at least if you're considering going against a blocking deck, it's significantly better. If you're going against an aggro deck, it might not be as good, but it could very well get you through a lot if you're prepared for that. So, I am curious. What I would like to do is I think I'm going to try some more Decimator Olympia into the format here. And we're going to just see what we can get out of this. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of people testing these decks on Talishar. So I would like to also try them on Talishar. Competitive Silver Age. Let's just set it up and see what we get here. Give me a tiny little face over here. It's me. I can be over here instead. There we go. All right. So we're paired to Uvalda. Probably pretty good here. So let me see. Into Valda, we probably expect to be dominated. We're going to want these unmovables for sure. And we can probably just keep... Probably send the Scar for a Scar to kind of get over their defenses, I'd imagine. Probably pretty okay. They are determining that I will be going first. So I will go ahead and I will just submit my deck and see. I'll turn off my score counter because I don't have all that. I'm very curious what the overall take is. I don't know. Do you guys have any hot takes on the event? Is there something you're scared about when it comes to Silver Age right now, or are you just kind of like chilling? Let's do this. Let's just overpitch here. Nine. Oh, they all block for 3. Well, I don't want to do that now. They showing me a crush card? They're not. Okay. I probably should have played... Oh no, sorry. What the hell am I thinking? I was like, what the hell am I doing? Yeah. Boulder drop. Okay, so this kind of screams... kind of screams pummel here. Give me 1 second. I gotta let my leave, little lady. All right. Let's see here. For 5, theoretically, we can just... So we should have taken out put into context. I don't know why I kept that in here. Let's just do this. See if we prevent all of it. Okay. I'll gain 2. They're heaving. Okay. I'm going to put money on the fact that I think put into context is going to be the death of me in this one. Do enough for competing, protect for time. Does it make Guardians even better? Yeah. I mean... I just don't know how Guardians get worse, you know what I mean? Like, Guardians just have such a good pool in this meta. I don't know how they get worse. It does not make any sense for me. Robo Razor is just going to come in for 6? Also not going to have Dominate. We don't have anything that draws cards, right? No. Okay. Getting rid of a lot of blues in their deck. Okay, we could shunt this, which we will probably just do. But also just, no. Yeah, we could just do this instead. No, we need the blue. I think we're gonna have to shunt this. Or I could just take 6. If we do WAP, no, we want that for power. But just stop fucking around. I gotta stop messing around here. Let's just do that. I just gotta stop messing around. Sharpen steel, send in 7. Now, the interesting part about Volda is that Civic Peak allows us to draw a card, but it also gives a Seismic Surge to Volda. So if they are ever on 2 resources or 2 Seismic Surge tokens, they can just block with this to make a 3rd to give their next thing Dominate. So kind of like this. This card gets halved. So park this in Arsenal because this is... They're going to send something at me here. Boulder drop, pitching. Now the real question here is that going to be more than that? This will block for 6, so I need to block 11, 6 plus 5. So I need to block 5 on this. I will do that. 3, 4, 5. Oh, no worries, no worries. There's the pummel. We feel good. No worries. I know everybody was super busy, so... Block 11. We sniffed it out. That's what we do. Hopefully you had fun, though. Hopefully you had a good time. You know what? Theirs will go first. Sure. So they no longer have any block value from their headpiece to give them a size of research token. And that's Arsenal. Another unmovable. No blue in hand, though, so that kind of feels bad. Debilitate for 8. No pummel coming at me this time, so this is just going to be probably a shunt into a Siren's Call. I kind of want to save the shunts. I probably can just give 1, 2, 4. I think that's what I'll do. I don't really want to give up my armor this early, but especially since we haven't run into a dominate yet. I think we are just going to go ahead and shunt here, unfortunately. We are going to shunt. 2. Send this. Commoner side events with Benji. Oh, really? Oh, did you play in the gold foil event? That's crazy. I also played in the gold foil event. Did we just miss each other? I was playing as Oldham in the event. I would imagine we'd have gotten paired into each other. We would have known. So they're at 23 cards in their deck. I'm at 29. Looking pretty good for me. Gotta say. That's a word, Jax. Oh, for sure they do. And I think that's like their purpose, right? Is to do exactly that, which is just prey on those decks. We could block. Now, interestingly enough, I do think this is where we probably debility doesn't really. We don't really care about this. I also don't want to take 8. Overpower almost seems really good. I almost kind of want to just block with the Scar first car, and then the Springboard Somersault, and then send a lot of damage. I think that's fine. It's a 9. Yeah, that's kind of my hope, is that like people go into it playing Guardian and I go, okay, cool, die for that. But like, I definitely have gotten blown up by other aggro decks. Other warriors tend to do pretty well. Okay, give me all of your equipment. You must have a really good hand. Zealous Belting for 5. I'll take 5. I'm not about to do all that shit. You're pummeling it. That's unfortunate for me. I can't unpummel that. That's what your whole turn was? Was that? Interesting. If I'd given 1 and then blocked 2 here, I would have just been able to... Whatever, that's fine. I'll just discard this Battlefront Bastion. 5 again. I mean, you have to block a lot on this next attack, so I think I'm in the clear. I love how quickly this went from like, oh, okay, like send the bill to nope, no longer send the bill. Don't do that shit. 2 seismic surge, felling, pitch. They're gonna have to give me 2 cards. Keep a card to pitch into their thing. And if I draw into anything good, I kind of just get a W here. Mine. You're gonna take 4. Oh, they have dominate now. Kind of rough for me. Ooh, I think we actually die here, unfortunately for us. No, we don't. We take 3. We take 3. This put into context is going to stay in that fucking arsenal forever, and I'm so mad about it. Actually, no. I mean, I'm still doing this. I think I'm just going to give you the sharpened steel instead. That was close. That was close. I could have gone for 7 there, but this allows them to block a little bit more awkward. They'll probably just go down to 1, or they'll find a way to go down to 1. I don't know if they can though, because they only have 3 blocks in deck. So we'll arsenal this card. End step. Oh, the Thunderquake. Okay, I kind of have to kill them this turn, otherwise I die. We can do... hit and run. Pitch. I think we can win this. I'm almost certain. I feel really good. Paired to Oldhim lost that, paired to another Oldhim lost that too, and paired to a third Oldhim. I mean, Oldhim for sure is gonna like rock your face when it comes to that stuff, so. Oh, I love the hit and run into a 3 block. All right, full block everything. That's fine. And that's the game, folks. That's the game. We love to see it. Good game, good game, good game, good game. Good game. We snuck around it. You see how quickly that went from like 21 to like 12 health to I took a Zealous Belting with a pummel into a Zealous Belting. And I was just like, okay, I guess I just kind of take, I don't know, what was that? 14 damage? I go from like 20 something to down to like less than 10. And I'm like, okay, I guess I die. But yeah, that was that. This turn was crazy. Yeah, Red Raging Onslaught was the game ender. That was a fun one. That was good. I like that. I was Heavy Hitters Kasai. I see a lot of her Blitz deck cards that look good to swap into Olympia. I think she's okay. I think the new Kasai, or the old Kasai, I should say, is better. But that's just me. I don't think it's just me. I think there are other people who agree with that, but I think Kasai Centauri Sellsword does a lot better. Having draw swords and things like that, this is gonna suck. I think I go first for sure. I'm gonna try and like sneak some stuff here. We're not. We should probably play NAB, 1AB, because I'm really just trying to kill the dragons, right? So yeah. Popper. Life. Maybe. I feel like Scar for Scar is better. Like the Hot Streak over Saber. I mean, having Hot Streak and Saber is also totally fine. I think that if you just do 2 Sabers and you're on Centauri Sellsword instead, it usually feels pretty good. Gosh, I gotta imagine Scar for Scar is the correct pick here, right? Like, I'm not stupid. Yeah, no, it is. It just is. It is. I don't know what I'm thinking it is. All right, so I go first. I am going to proceed to pass. See if my opponent gets crazy with it. Then do something good for Sage and Pen. I mean, I would imagine they would. Just have to think about how Hot Streak I think of it. I shouldn't run it because I should give Go again anyway with my hand. Yeah, I think that's the thing too, is that like with Hot Streak, you're assuming that your opponent is going to block you incorrectly. And if they do, you obviously get Go again without having to play a Blade Runner, right? They scooped? This is rough. What in the fuck? 2 Vincerakai? Okay. Common Chiana and a bunch of specs. I don't know that we're gonna get specs in Pen. I don't know that we're gonna get common Chiana in Pen. I don't think we're gonna get Chiana probably ever again, if I were to guess. But yeah, like Kasai specifically, I think the thing that makes Kasai Centauri Sellsword better is that the second you don't have to worry about drawing a card in order for one of your weapons to cost 0. On the other hand, when you think about heavy hitters Kasai, you need to have cards that draw you cards, and then they get, 0, right? Like then they don't cost anything for you to swing with them. Oh, they get to go first. I still think we do this, although I don't really think we should be running that because they're not on. I'd much rather prevent their on hits, actually. You know what? We're just going to find out, right? We're going to find out. Popper Central. Let's go with that. I think it's just going to be, it just makes more sense for you to go, okay, cool. Send one weapon, play Blade Runner, give it Go again in the reaction step to kind of sidestep your opponent, and then outed? What in the Phoenix Flame? Not like this. Oh, this is gonna be rough. Gang, I don't know what to tell you. This is gonna be a doozy. I would like to send this by doing this into this. That's all I would like to do, is send 4 damage. You can get a Wave of Reality. You can get a Spectral Shield token. They are playing quick. They seem to know what they're doing here. So, Chromai. We have a Popper. I will just pop it, because why the hell not? Flame Call Awakening. Okay. They had the Miragai in hand and they didn't play it? Let's just block 3. Billing Mirage. Let's just go ahead and block 3. I realize Steel Blade Shunts are going to suck in this game. All right, let's see if we get absolutely freaking boned here. Luckily, if it's a snatch or something, we get full value off of this. Cool. I'm going to play the game, kill the Ashwing. And you are going to lose an Ashwing. Correct. Yeah, it'd be better to pump a go again into the attack. And also what you're doing is your first weapon usually does not swing for a lot. If it does, it's awesome, but you're really allowing you to get an additional resource to pump up your second weapon. So your first weapon's usually just going to get the go again to deceive your opponent into overblocking, and then you're going to send like 8 on your other saber, which is like really, really good. Okay, this is for 2. I think I'll actually just take 2 here, because I can scar for a scar into their face. This doesn't have an on hit, so I'm not really worried. I think I might actually pay into... It's because I don't think I'm ever going to get value off of this again. I want these out of my deck. Baby make this is lo-fi. We're listening to lo-fi right now. Solitary companion? What is happening? Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna kill Miragai then. Solitary companion? Okay, 3. I think I probably will give you nothing here. You're pitching a lot of your dragons to the end game, which is very interesting to me, I think. I will actually Steelblade Shunt this, because you don't have any weapons, so I'd much rather do that than this. Kyloria, perfect. Bop. Okay, we will Scar for a Scar into Kyloria to kill. I will then swing Axe at them, because I don't know why they have Spectral Shield stuff up. What is this, Ward 3? That's why they have it up. It's just Ward 3. Poppers all day. This is so good for me. This hand is bad, but it's also good. Okay, so we're at less life than them. Oh, okay. Sure. Pop it? Yeah, this is the hand of all time. I'm just gonna send 4. Just hope they're playing too quickly to not notice that I just sent a whole bunch of poppers to the bottom of my deck. So the Scar for Scars are alive. If they Scar for Scar me here, I'll cry. Rabble. Okay. Let's just go ahead and block out, like, this is a popper. We're gonna keep that. Let's keep you and... Actually, let's just keep you and you. You pretty much cover yourself, so you're good there. Take 1. Flame Call Awakening. They get to do that. See, Flame Call Awakening does not... This... Okay, let me just tell you. This does not feel good because you do not have... what do you call it? You do not have... stinking... You know, I might take 3 here. You don't have Flamescale Furnace. Like, you don't have any Flamescale Furnace. It's just not good. Uvia. Okay. Send an Ashwing. I'll send no blocks to the Ashwing. So now I have to kill the Uvia. If they attack me with Uvia, that's awesome. They will not be doing that. I will swing to kill Uvia. Boop. Uvia dies. Okay, for 3, another Ashwing. No popper in this hand, so it does feel kind of bad. I think we will just give you the shunt here. It'll be a weapon spec? Very impossible. I don't know if they will do that. Plays headlong. Well, that's pretty good actually. What if we just take nothing there? Well, so if that's a snatch, we cry. If it's a dust up, we cry. We could just block like this. Take 1. Okay, Ashwing. Unfortunately, I think this is where we're gonna get hurt a lot, is because these Ashwings are gonna come in for a ton and we can't clear them. I almost wonder if it was better for us to, there's the dust up. So called that shit. Unfortunately, I don't get to keep anything. You don't get a 3rd Ashwing. Okay, no popper in hand. Okay. Base. So this is just 4. Again, it's coming in for another breakpoint, which I don't really love. Let's just see again. The downfall of this is going to be pretty freaking bad. Take 1. There's a Yenderai. Okay. Ashwing for 1. I'm gonna say no blocks. Ashwing for 1. I'm gonna say no blocks. Maybe they don't hit me with the Yenderai. That's pretty cool. They do hit me with the Yenderai instead anyway. We just block 3. Cool. Sharpen Steel. Kill Yenderai. Popper. Nope. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's kind of rough for me. I don't know that we're going to be able to get through this here, gang. I do think Dromai kind of kills the shit out of me. Gosh, if I had just kept more of those poppers in my hand. Ooh, and the Vincerikai too. What the hell? This is crazy. Okay. I'll give you 6. I'll give you 1. I'll take 1. I mean, it definitely does. I think it blocks this specific version just because my stuff cares about blocking high power. Oh, this is so good for them. Holy shit. Holy cow. I get pinged for 1. Block 2. And they get to send a freaking... No, this is game. This is over. Fucking Jover for me. You gonna send Mirror Guy? Yep, that's right. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The deep blue is interesting. That's just got to be like... I have to kill Asfly, unfortunately. Asfly, unfortunately, has to die. Oh, okay. We have poppers in our hand. We have poppers. Let it be known that we have poppers in our hand. Sending 6. I will give you... I'll give you 5. 6. Okay, I will heal. That sucks that you're giving me an Ashwing. I'm gonna pop it. Now gain a life. We're getting back up there. We're getting back up there. Making it happen. All right, now keep me with a red in my hand, or a blue in my hand, so I can kill Vincerikai, because that's gonna suck. Really, I can kill Miragai. It's probably the better. Actually, not bad. Sweeping blow. Do this. Lock out another one. Dromai is very cool. I like Dromai a lot. We will pitch. Sure, you can undo your last action. Oh my god, it's so over, gang. It's so over. It's so over. Good game, good game, good game. That's it. That was rough. That was probably the roughest I could have ever imagined that hand being. This guy got all of his dragons. All of his dragons, all at the same time. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, dragons were crazy this game. Crazy this game. Because, like, that's the thing, is, like, you keep yourself off Ash, that's totally fine, but it was, like, such an interesting, like, build. The Outed was very interesting. I mean, really just all their stuff lined up. Like, everything lined up for them perfectly. They are... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hello? The thing didn't work. Oh, okay, weird. Not sure why. I'm not sure why it undid anything. The solitary... This was bad. Yeah, this was rough, gang. This was rough. How you doing, Tegan and or Aurora? Hopefully you're doing good. I don't know. Well, I can't say that that was a very favored thing, so we'll just go ahead and send it to this next one here. Let's just send it as a 1-1. Good, good. Happy to hear. Just doing some Sage testing, some Sage thingies. I do think this is still a weapon that I like want to play, or a hero that I want to play, I should say. This is gonna be, they're gonna pump it by a lot, maybe. A lot of this stuff has 4s. Let's just put, no. Let's do that instead. Take out blues and put in other blues. Olympia's been pretty good though. I gotta say, oh, this is gonna fucking suck. Oh no. I mean, I'm gonna be able to heal, but that's fine. But Olympia's been doing pretty good. I certainly enjoy Olympia's playstyle a lot. I don't know that it's going to go well into the meta, but it'll do something here. Well, this is just a perfect time for me to go ahead and hit you with the bop, bop. Dang you. Any bad if Olympia had a way for life strike? I mean, if Olympia had a way to heal, it would be bad. I mean, for sure. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think that they could give that to really anybody, because that would mean by that would just be bad. Okay, so if this is a lightning press, I kind of cry, right? But it really doesn't matter. I'm just gonna, I mean, if you draw a card here, it's not like the end of the world. You already have a card in your hand. You know what? I'll give you a 1-for-1 trade. I guess you do get an embodiment of lightning. That their embodiment of earth, probably something I could have blocked out a little bit better, but that's fine. They're not going to block anyway, so it doesn't matter. Does not matter. Yeah, that was an insane shunt turn. That paired up really, really well. Well, speaking of pairing up really well, we're going to do this. Bop. I don't want to see the arcane polarities just yet. I don't know if I want to see them next to each other, though. Real question. I think we'll just give them a little razzle dazzle of bop. Bop, bop. Give him the old razzle dazzle of 4. Pitch 3 cards to send 4. It's a casual 3-card 4. Yep, of course you're going to take nothing. Ah, I did not bring AB into this. I'm going to regret that later. I am almost certain I will regret that later. Arsenal card. I will learn to regret my decision. Ooh, God, that's bad. And you see, I pitched away 2 arcane polarities. That could have been 8 life I'd have gained right there. That'd have been nasty. Am I ever even going to see those arcane polarities again? I should have just played them. Oh, and the bracers? Jack be nimble. Revealed off the top. Okay. 6 go again. We do have a burn up shock to worry about. We can do this. I can then pass. I'm going to give a shunt here. I think I should probably just get rid of this, because this is going to cost me a whole thing to block 5. Don't know that that's worth it. I should probably pitch a somersault, right? I'm going to pitch a somersault. Rather, I could block 5 into 3, so I can block 8 in a situation there, but yep, Starfall for 2. I might just give you this. You're gonna send something for 4, maybe? Connect Shockwave. They have a lightning press in hand. Okay, sweet. Sweet, 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 sweet. I'll block 4. Go ahead, lightning press me. Yeah, only 5s? It is funny. I did not realize that until just now. Sweet, you use the press. Let's fucking go. Overblock for nothing. We stunted out a burn up shock turn. We just need to live past one more burn up shock turn and we are good to go. We can still block out a bunch of the Starfalls with our armor here. The only issue is we die to Arcane, so if this motherfucker is on Harness Lightning, we do not get to do that. Okay, Nimbleism, Quick Clicks, give something go again. Snatch, Skizzic, 7 go again. Cool, 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 cool. No on hit though. So I think I'll probably just go ahead and block. I mean, effectively this is 6. I'll just take 1. Go ahead and get an embodiment of lightning. Jack be nimble. 4 go again. Unhit do a thing. You don't get to steal anything from me. I gain a life at the end of this. Static Shock. Well, I mean, it's probably better that we just block. Block 3 here, take 2. Okay. Gain 1. Perfect. Like nothing even happened. $31 to $26. They're Hope Merchant's Hood. We got them. They got a bad hand. They got a Runeblade hand. Let's see if they did that again. They put 2 cards back in their deck and then drew 2 cards. Okay, this hand's kind of crazy. Symbolism. Ravenous Rabble for 7. Yep. Let's see. We do a 3 and a 6. Take a thing. And this hand certainly just blocks. Concedes life. Oh. That sucks for me. Huh. Well, I did not expect to keep my whole hand, so I guess I'm just going to go ahead and arsenal this card. Yikes, that's kind of bad. This is also kind of bad too. 4. No on hits, so we will just go ahead and send block with this here. Twine Lightning, showing a Flittering Charge. I'm going to give you... Unfortunately, this is just kind of really bad for me. I'm going to block 3 here. I don't want to overblock. All points of my damage are significantly more worth it right now. Sizzle. Flittering Charge for freaking 7. Yep. I'm just going to get as much value as I possibly can off this thing here. Lightning Press. We did gain a life off this, right? Hopefully. This is kind of rough. See, again, this is kind of why Briar is like... This deck can do pretty well into Guardians. It can't do super well into, like, hyper aggro. Because you just can't block everything if you got a bunch of defense reactions. Like, it's just kind of rough. Also, unfortunately, with me not having brought an Arcane Barrier into this, which I don't know why I didn't. Literally the stupidest thing I could have fucking done. Heal 1. Oh, God. Yup, that's good. Can only assume they've already gotten... They're probably sitting on a thing here. If this is Lightning Press, we die for sure. I mean, they could literally send anything else. I mean, if they have a 2 power attack and then also a 4 power attack, we die. 4. Okay. A shame to think that if I kept both my Arcane Polarities in my hand, I'd have 8 extra life right now. All right, let's see. Let's see. Maybe we can get lucky here. They do also have the capability to shock us, right? They have burn up shock, so they can shock us if we're ever at 1, because again, we did not bring an AB. Because we're dumb. We're dumb and we're dumb. We shouldn't have done that. Okay, for 4. I'll go ahead and give... I can't go down much more than this, so I have to give you everything else from this point forward here. And I don't know that I can keep up with the hand. That's a 5-card hand, so... unfortunately, we just sit. It's a shame. My one opening to get tons of value, I gave up because I just assumed they were going to have it. 10. Oh, okay. That's a lot. Ooh, it's still going to kill me, though. That's unfortunate. Damn. Yeah, because I can only give 9 here. Unfortunate for me. Good game. Yeah, going hyper aggro definitely just rocks the hell out of you. That is a they are on Harness Lightning too. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, that was going to be a rough one for sure. For sure. So, cool. That's another loss on our board here. So it seems like if the deck is hyper aggro, Olympia does not have a way to deal with that. Very unfortunate for us, but I also don't know what happened to that new Talishar Life counter thing. I never saw it, so I don't know why it wasn't there. Okay. Some Scurv action. Pretty sure we just do this and we do this, and then we're good to go. I shouldn't have brought it. Oh, I guess they're on swells too, right? So, let's just send. No, let's send 7. Most of Scurv stuff blocked for 2, so probably gonna get like 2-3 cards out of them here. Yeah. And I'm now winning the fatigue game. Ooh, we got a red money or life too. That's pretty good. Where's that card? C4 salvage. Flip a thing over, get a gold. Create a rum. Battalion bark for 9. We can block 6, take 3, go down to. With gold ability, does it kind of just mostly support attack card strategies over weapons? You mean Olympia? Like Olympia's gold ability, or with Gold Kiss Rum? Are you talking about Scurv or Olympia? I think I just give. No, again, we're just trying to kind of fatigue here, right? So play this. Olympia's. Oh, yeah. So Olympia's gold ability does not matter in this game. The only reason I'm running Olympia is not because of his gold ability. It's because he can run this helmet. That's it. There's no reason for his gold ability to have anything because none of the cards in here wager. There's no wagering in this deck. So the only reason I'm running it is because this helmet says temper 2 on it. It blocks 2. And then you get a -1 counter on it, and then it blocks 1. So it blocks 3 damage overall in the course of a game, which is really good because you want to be able to block more with your armor in that scenario. Okay, park this in Arsenal. But Olympia's ability isn't really like good. It's not a very good hero ability, so they're not a very good hero to be playing. They are wagering. They have 2 cards in hand. I sniff a pummel. We have a red. We have a yellow shunt. If I block this, and then maybe this and this, I'll get a gold. Okay. Sloop. I will then. I guess they can take that back. They really want to do this. I will just shunt this and take 1. I guess I'll take 2 because you're going to attack me with your dude. That's right, Talishar. It's pretty good. No blocks. Taking a life. 16 all. So you lock with a card from hand and armor. Okay. Half this. Fine. Steal a gold. Sure. You can have your gold back. The one thing you do not want to do into this deck is try to pitch into your gold. It will absolutely do it. Play 2 bolds, pop 3 gold, and some strong turn with that. I mean, there's no... Like, you don't make enough gold in the deck in order for that to happen. So I guess that's really the thing. What's up, Narb? How you doing? I think I'll give you the felling here. Still send Talishar. Block 3 here. Take 1. Because like you can pay 3 into, you know, to pop 3 gold, but you need to make 3 gold. And the only way Olympia really makes gold is if he wins those wagers, and that's not like really worth it. Like at that point you might as well just play something like Gravy Bones that like can make gold a little bit better. Like pirate cards just make gold better. But Olympia can't. Like you have to win wagers, and if you don't win a wager, your opponent gets a gold, and if your opponent gets a gold and you don't, kind of rough. What's up, Scrib? Good seeing you. Yeah, absolutely. It was a great time. Great time getting to meet everybody at Worlds. I look forward to our next soiree, our next venture into the world. I'm very, very excited. Also, they can only swing Talishar one more time, and then they're done. One more time, and then they're done. But I did have safe travels. I now have to travel again in December. Not for Sage, unfortunately. Is there any best strategy to play wagers securely? You're pretty much just going to want to find a way to play them when your opponent, either you know your opponent doesn't want to block, or your opponent is keen to not block effectively, I guess. Like they don't have enough cards in their hand to full block like a 7 power attack, you know what I mean? But overall, it's not like the best. Do I just want to do this? I'll give you 5 here. I'll keep this life lead. Murderous Rabble. 1. Super sick. Love seeing that. Strike gold for 4. I will give you this, and I will give you this. You will not make a gold. There will be no gold making on this platform. 26, 27. I think I'm winning still. Well, now they're at 9, right? So now they have to start blocking with their equipment, or they continue to take damage. They don't have a Gold Kiss Rum, so they're gonna have to spend a whole turn to make it also. Yeah, I do feel like a deck like Decimator Olympia, truly the biggest thing that it does is it preys on heroes who have a longer game plan. If your game plan is block a whole lot, and then block a whole lot, and then just like fatigue your opponent down, I believe Olympia is the better fatigue deck. But if you get paired into a deck that has a whole ton of attacks, and you don't see the correct amount of blocking cards in that same vein, And you just get whittled down to nothing by the small little like breakpoints, and then you just end up getting hurt really bad. So, I guess I can use this on here. Get these out of my deck. Now, the real question here is, I block 9 or do I block 5? Or do I block 6? Also going to do this here too, so. Woo! I don't know how much they're going to have left in their deck to send at me. Also, if they swing Talishar at me again, I'm just going to ping them. Because I can't be doing all that. Okay, well, they're not going to have Pummel here, which means that we get to do this. Bink. Money or your life. Really good card. But now you're out of reds, so the rest of this game is going to be you doing nothing. If you're ever curious about whether or not Scurv is good in this format, let this be a concept. Oh, no worries. So it is not usually the case there. Pretty much, if you are ever doing a wager, currently there is like a way, and obviously this is an attack reaction, so you can do that in the reaction step, right? Which is kind of a way to like trick your opponent into playing something different, right? But it is not usually very good to do that, especially in a format where there are a lot of D-reacts. I just think like wagering is fun, but there's got to be more payoff for you to wager, right? If you want to take a look, there's a hero by the name of Betsy, and Betsy's hero ability says that she can give things overpower if they are a wagered attack, and overpower just means your opponent can only block with one action card on the combat chain, which is really good. I'm just going to use this because I'm going to pump damage here. It is really good to do that because it makes it so your opponent can't block it as effectively. But Betsy's like card pool specifically for wagering is not very good. Well, this is just a pummel, isn't it? I don't know. Give you 6, I guess. Bob, see if you have it. You have it? That's a shame. I've now stuffed both of your red pummels. Also, that is probably the last money of their life. For 5, I could probably just give this here. Take a couple points of damage, send 7. Ooh, okay. Okay, that's 9. This blocks 5. Shoot. I mean, we might as well just do this, right? Keep all the cards. 8. Did they not play that? I swear to God, they already played their second pummel. Am I crazy? I guess I'm crazy. Okay, well. Oh no. I lost one life. Battalion Bark. Let's go ahead and give 2 and then 5. They are on blue pummels also. Okay, you're gonna have to give me a card. You're gonna have to give me a card here. You're gonna have to give me a card. Also, heads up. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Hopefully you're having a good time. Hopefully you're having a jolly old time hanging out, talking about Sage. I know the format is, we just got done with Valencia, so I would like to try out that new, what do you call it? I guess it's not new, the chain deck and everything there. I'd like to see what that's all about. Sloop, 3 floats. You did. We did talk about Valencia already. But, I mean, I'm happy to talk about them if need be. 4. I guess I'm going to have to give you this and this. Because I'm certainly not going to take 6 damage. Yeah, you are out of money or lives, right? You have 1 more in your deck. Yeah, no worries. It was, I mean, it looked a lot more spaced out than Tokyo did. But the downfall there is that, okay, it's another blue pummel. You definitely are on blue pummels. I already saw blue pummel. This is going to be for 7. If we get hit, we get hit. Okay, cool. Send 7. But yeah, I think it's pretty just like if you're playing a Rune Blades are pretty good. If you're playing Guardians are pretty good. That's pretty much the full Monty of everything there is that. How did we get to the same cards in deck? What in the world happened there? Are they going to win? I'm going to say no blocks here. Oof. How did that happen? Now, we have the same cards left in deck. That's insane. I should have just blocked this. I don't know why I just took it. Felling Swing, pitch. Pitch. 8. That's what we like to see. Lock that test of strength out. Mine. Valencia calling was CC, but the Battle Hardened was Sage. So there was a Battle Hardened for it that was Sage, which was pretty important to the beginning of the format, right? To kind of show it off, but I guess they are kind of calling it an early access right now, which is essentially a way to say, hey, you know what? Like, this does not matter. I'll take 2. Okay, and I think I just, again, I probably could have just done something else here. Let's just go ahead and send 4. They're going to have to block with a card from hand. I'll do that. And then I will play Overpower. And I will kill them. Overpower gets it. Bink. Good game. Good game. That was getting kind of tight. I don't know why I thought that our life totals... This hand would not have done anything, I don't think. I mean, the rest of my deck was blues, right? So what would their turn have been? Their turn would have been... if they didn't block with these, or if they did block with these, right, and this didn't kill them, they wouldn't have been able to do anything besides send Strike Gold or attack with Sloop for 4 with no go again. I guess you can give a go again by Gold Kiss Rum. So you can play Gold Kiss Rum, swing the Sloop for 4. I could just block for 4, and then you can... I guess really you have the weapon too, right? So this could be a pitch into, you can play Strike Gold with Go Again into pitch into Swiftwater Sloop, have the resource, and then attack. Well, this won't get Go Again. So you actually have no way to get Go Again, which is pretty good. So I think that is a W on my part there. So 2 and 2. So as I mentioned, not the best, not the best, not the worst, but not the best, not the best, but not the worst. Yeah. So get camera. Wow. There we go. Runeblade and Guardians, does that result in some more extended matches? No. Guardians are just very good at presenting disruption at breakpoint level. They also have ways to discount those disruptive cards on block, which is really good. And then you also have Runeblade, who has the ability to kind of mix that arcane and physical damage. So sometimes they will send arcane damage that you have to block differently compared to physical damage. And then that's just kind of where it kind of screws it up a little bit in that regard, is because if you can't block out the arcane and you can't block out the physical, there's a lot of back and forth in regards to what, like how you're going to leak damage. Because again, you only have 20 life in these formats, and because you only have 20 life, it's really, really hard for you to like take 1 to 2 points of damage a turn and then finally wait for your opponent to brick, because like they usually don't, and that's kind of the trade-off there. Let's see. Yeah, it is it's very cool to see that those yeah, Runeblade is a mix of arcane and physical. So it's you'll see that I faced a hero earlier on in the VOD called Briar. That's a Runeblade. Effectively what they do is they utilize non-attack actions and attack actions in a way to kind of weave them together to allow you to get a benefit of pumping up a lot of damage on an attack, and also sometimes sending in more arcane damage on your next attack. So it is pretty good. Yeah, I think I want to try out that other I want to try out that Briar build, because it does seem just like so insanely good right now. This one, Kim Schreer's Briar. Yeah, it is a very, very, very much so a go quick deck. It's a very aggro based deck. So you do see this deck end up becoming a lot more like, okay, cool, like I'm not going to block, I'm going to send damage. I'm not going to block, I'm going to send damage. Let's go ahead and just create that then. See if I can make a 1-for-1. Briar Comp Sage. Let me spell Briar, not Brayer. Briar Comp Sage. Gosh, I wish there was a way I could just literally copy this list from 1-for-1. Import to gem. No, that's not what I want. Okay, so we have Blade, Beckoner, Snapshot, DD, Lexi to the moon. Yeah, she's pretty fun. I don't know. She didn't seem to do too well in the Sage event. I'm not sure if I don't think anybody even played her, but Bloodtorn Bodice, Bracers of Belief, Reaping Blade. Blade. That's the one. And then Spell Fray, Leggings, and a Starfall. And then for the stuff in the main deck, oh, there's a Blossom of Spring here too. Blossom of Spring. What else do I need from this thing? We need Arcane Polarity. The card is going up in value so much. Arcane Seeds Life. We have Arcanic Shockwave. I just like that it's all red line. Like, I like the fact that it is a red line deck and red line like only. Twine Lightning. Glittering Charge. Lightning. Press. Lightning Surge. Malefic Incantation. Whoop. Nimblism. Photon Rush. Ravenous Rabble. The Read the Runes Red. The Reinforce the Line, which I'm assuming is going to be in the side. We have Scar for a Scar, which is going to be in the main. Second Strike. Sigil of Suffering. Sizzle. Skizzic. Snap. Static Shock. And Weave Lightning. 30 damage snapshot like the other day when it goes. Oh, for sure. I mean, like, it's pretty good. I definitely think it's good. I just know that I think that deck is. I think it's more evident that it can brick than not in most cases. So let's take this out, and then I'm assuming we take out the Read the Runes. And then we also probably can just take out Spellfray Leggings, the Reaping Blade, the Bloodtorn Bodice probably, and then this. And this is probably what we're actually running right now. Well, not that. So this is probably the main board. That's probably the sideboard. If I were to gather, let's go ahead and send this in Talishar. Let's do some more Talishar here. I will save this deck so I can play it in Comp Silver Age. Curious how this is going to turn out. Yeah, overall, I think just the thing to keep in mind for right now for the Silver Age meta is that you can play Runeblade and you can play Guardian. And those are, and Ninja, right? Probably Fi and Ira. But that is just kind of the thing. I do think that those decks do very well. And you're going to see a lot of people running them to get them set up for like being the best. Been set. I will certainly like to go first. No, I feel like I should go second. I think we just want to block. We shouldn't really run Spellfray because we don't have anything else. I think we just try to kill them. Yeah? I think we just try to kill them. This thing does not kill things. Although it's probably not a bad thing to have. You know what? I think we're gonna just send it. Only one way to find out. Only one way to find out. We will. Oh, we have the Arcane Polarities in here. Actually, that's fine. This is what we should have taken out, but it was not. Death Dealer is my favorite weapon of all time. Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, I love being able to do like weird shit. You know what I mean? Like having weird things to do is really important to the game. And then I think I will just actually pass. That was like kind of the best first turn I could hope to have, I think. Although having to IP myself, I probably don't like it as much, but... Yo, what's up, John? How you doing, man? No blocks. I will heal myself. Sage meta looking? Runeblade and Guardian. That's kind of the big ones there, is playing Runeblade and playing Guardian. This can get go again. I can pitch into this, and then I can pitch into this. If they decide to block it, then it'll get blocked. I should just send this, though. I'll also send 7, put Snatch in Arsenal. You know what? Yeah, we're going to do Scar first. Yeah, because this is going to get going again anyway, so they're pitching into the Rune Chance here, which is good for me. You have a Reduce Sigil Suffering. I do not care. I could do this, pitch this, because they're probably not going to block. I realized I'm just son of a bitch. I completely forgot that looks for a thing. I'm stupid. I needed to play a lightning card first. I didn't do that. It's okay. We kept them with 2 cards in the hand. Only 1 Rune Chant. So they're going to make another Rune Chant off Inset ability, and then we get to do a thing. This hand is kind of ass, if I'm being so fucking for real right now. Why are they oh, so I can play Whale? Sure. That's kind of rough. Kind of rough, gang. Not gonna lie. We'll block 6. Four. Make a Rune Chant. Yeah, it's pretty much Rune Blades and Guardians is like the concept of the meta right now. Another one of those, okay. Okay. This feels better, but not really. Where's all my non-attack actions at? I have to have played a lightning card. How am I going to do all that shit? Flying high. So it's going to be, what, 3 and 8? And Besiege? Oh, golly, that's so good. Maybe I just block. I mean, I can't stop these rune chants, so unfortunately... 11? It's 11, and then you're not going to have rune chants for anything else besides your weapon. I'll lock 11. Oh yeah, I mean it's a pretty good place to be. I think that Sage is just a great thing for an armory to bring new people in and have them play. I think it's just like it's so incredibly worth it to do that. Snatch. They don't have any block and armor. Use rune chant. Okay. So if I didn't block, they wouldn't have had the ability to do that. I mean, they would have gotten it anyway, but... Okay, Arcane Polarity. We're in. We're so back. We've never been more back a day in our lives. Garland Spring. Pay a resource. Envelop. Rune Dwelling Incantation. Okay. Uh-huh. Heal myself. For 6. No go again. I don't have like a starter. Now, interestingly enough, we're doing pretty okay now. They do have a way for them to get a rune chant at the beginning of every one of their turns. I'm gonna send Snatch again. They should have one more reduced to rune chant. Let's see if they have it. If they do have it, they don't have it. They're blocking with that. They're going to make one rune chant by Vincent's ability, one rune chant by the other thing. I'm gonna heal. I've used both my arcane polarities already. Now this is a starter. This is a good hand. I might just say no blocks to this. Although I shouldn't, because this is what? 4, this is 2 chance a life into a Scar for a Scar, into a Lightning Surge with Lightning Press, and then pass? Ooh, I have to block it now. For 5. Yeah, I had to block that. Flail. Block with my weapons things. You take another life from Blood Debt. And I think I will just do this. Okay, go again. And then maybe park the Lightning Press in Arsenal. My goal here now is just to kill them with their Blood Debt. They have one more, they definitely have one more Mauvrince, guys, but I did just now, of course. I also haven't seen my burn up shocks yet, oddly enough. Have yet to see those, so that kind of sucks. I am going to close the combat chain. I'm going to put this in Arsenal. Because I bet our turn is a burn-up shock. 2 burn-up shocks. This is a crazy turn. Hello? Sizzle? Play burn-up shock. Ping them. Play burn-up shock. Ping them. Play sizzle. Play second strike. Hit them for 1 billion? Does this just kill them? Okay, 2 chants. They need to make 1 more chant. They probably have an Envelopment Darkness, if I were to guess. Envelopment Darkness would make this come in for 9. 9 and 3 chants, which would be lethal. They're ending their turn. This is good for us. Okay, Burn Up Shock. Both. This is kind of insane. Are you choosing to ping? You are not. Awesome. So I very well could save this other Burn Up Shock, but I don't think I'm going to. Because I'm going to try and get around the second strike here. Sizzle. Send this. I guess I could also send the Blossom of Spring too. Or this, just the Starfall with Blossom of Spring, I should say. Yeah, Sizzle is not attack action. Yeah. Oh. Die? Yeah. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. You definitely just take 8 damage. That turn was threatening the 2, 8, so 10 damage they were at. Yeah, that was rough. They conceded the game. Woo! Oh, they had a pummeling arsenal. Oh, I'd have been so fucked, dude. I'd have been so fucked. I should have just pressed there anyway. Because, like, worst case scenario, what is this, right? Worst case scenario, they block 5. They play the last reduced to rune chant in their deck. Yeah. Pretty ridiculous, actually. Yeah, so for me, I mean, like, my playstyle fits the Guardian side of things right now for sure. But, so, like, this is going to be kind of a rough match, I'd imagine. They're probably going to want to heal. If I can keep myself lower than them, then we're good. I can use this to destroy a... Nope, I can't use it to destroy a Frostbite. I need to block their on-hits a little bit more, though. No, no, no. This is important. This is important. This is not important. And maybe not read the runes. Maybe this is more important. Sigil of Suffering. Maybe, I guess. What do we take out? Probably Captain's Call? Let's see how this goes. We are going to... Well, we have no attack actions in our hand. We are going to Arcane Seed's Life. Both. Gain some life while I have it. We are going to... I guess we don't want to play this. Oh, God. That sucks. This hand is ass. I'm just gonna pass, actually. Okay. This is fine. Okay, one more. We will go ahead and we will play a +3 fuse, get that, and then Skizik. I mean, think that's just damage at this point, right? Send flittering charge. It'll be 7 and 2. Pitching into the chance for 7. Blocking with 2 cards, 3 cards, a bunch of equipment. Okay, I get a Quicken token. And I lose the Might. I'll try to pump it up a little bit more. And now I can go ahead and just put this in Arsenal, and it will get the +4 from this. So I will actually just close the combat chain. Now the Quicken will give it +1. So we can play Malefic into that. Boulder Drop kind of good here, actually. Holy shit. If I block 6, take 2. We will play Malefic Incantation. We will play a Skizzik for 4 go again. And then I will send Reaping for 3. The goal here is to not overextend unless we know we have like a combo turn effectively. I kind of want to just like get around their D-reacts first. And sending Blade as a chain ender instead of sending that is really good. So okay, I'm gonna send Hammer. We will say no blocks to the Hammer. Do a lightning card. So this turn is going to be, if you played a lightning card, this card gets go again. Let's, you know what? Let's Braces of Relief here, actually. Play Entwine Lightning, use it. 6 go. They've used up like all of their armor here, which is not great for them. They're playing a Staunch. Love to see a Staunch. I think we'll actually go ahead and just send the 2 points of Arcane here. Because he did not hit. Let's see if they pitch another card. Giving me the Civic Steps. Okay, cool. Not a great time to do that, but I will then just Arsenal this card and pass. Okay. So this turn is going to be kind of good, I think. We're going to do a Burn Up Shock. Both. They took the 1. We want something with the Quicken first. So I mean, we can just chain in this, right? Because we played this. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and play yeah, I'm gonna Blossom Spring here too. So I will actually start with a Snatch to give it a go again. So we're gonna send a lot here. You're giving us 2 cards? They can't give us armor. I'm gonna get to draw Ultimate Ability. Okay. We're gonna play a Ravenous Rabble. They're gonna take a lot of damage here. Another 4. We're gonna hit him with the Photon Rush. They're We're gonna hit him with a second strike. And then we get to hit him with the Reaping Blade. That's it. Wow. Holy shit. 23 damage turn? That was kind of cool, I guess. That was kind of cool, I guess. Woo-wee, golly gee willikers. That's a lot. Looks like I caught them on a hand of... I mean, what do they block here? I can't look at these once the things up here. Yeah, 8-4 and then nothing and then nothing. Like 12. I sent 1 damage. I threatened 1 damage by sending the Starfall, and then it was just 12 into 8 into 12 into 23. So that was kind of cool. Briar definitely has got the sauce, from what I can tell. The fact that I just beat the Oldham there was pretty interesting too. Let's get one more game in here. One more game on Briar. We'll probably call it there after this. Luckily, I enjoy playing Runeblade, so I don't mind. Getting my feet wet doing this, because I can also play Oldham. I'm not a big fan of Flattering Showman. I'm sure they're good, but... Oh, okay. I will go... See, this is an aggro game. I definitely think I still want to go first. Yeah. I still want to go first. I think I just want to make sure they're not going to Arcane Polarity me. No, I think this is a race. I think I just raced them. I think I just raced them. No, I shouldn't play this. I think I just race. Let's see. Is Briar still legal? That'd be crazy. That'd be insane. Ooh, okay. Do I save the burn up shock? Is the real question here. Because I could leak a lot of damage, I think, turn one. Both. They are on AB. I am not on AB. I can leak a lot of damage here, turn 1. They only have 1 block value here. So I'm gonna come in with a Photon Rush for 3. They're gonna block for 3. Probably. Maybe they block for 6. And if they block for 6, I just come in with the Skizzik and do it there. Maybe we pop Bracers of Belief here too. Like, just turn 1, absolutely fucking decimate them? No. No, there's no need to get greedy, Alex. There's no need to get greedy. That's silly. This is also only going to come in for 3, I realize. So we'll see what they do with that. Very interesting. Yeah, if Briar was legal, no blocks. Oh. A pummel. I will press this. You will take a lot of damage. You have the sigil. That's crazy work. Okay. You know what? Give me your other card in your hand. Very interesting. Oof, I got him. We got another one here too. I don't like that we have 3 non-attack actions and then a second strike. Not very bueno, if I'm being entirely honest here. Mutation. Yeah. Always punished. Okay, take the 1 rune chance. 3 damage. I think I just say no blocks here. Yeah, to draw into it again this early is really good. But then this is nuts. Also, I really just don't want to see this again. I don't want to see this again. I'd much rather not see this again. They're probably not gonna. You know what? Screw it. I'll say no blocks. Interesting. What do I even do with this hand? Like, it's effectively sizzle. I can Arcane Seeds life to make me some rune chance. And gain life, because I'm at less life than my opponent. They have 3 rune chance right now. So they can already play whatever the hell they want from their banish zone. They're gonna... Maybe they're not gonna block. But they might need to block. I think I just play the sizzle. I think I just keep the burn-up shock. Have this come in for maybe 7, probably 6. All right, it's gonna be 6. It's gonna be 6 damage. You wanna undo? You don't want to pitch? Okay, they're pitching anyway. Six, go again. Okay, get a Spellblade Assault out of your hands, another blue. And I get pinged for 1. Sure. There's no more Sigil of Sufferings in their deck. They're gonna whiff. Nice. Always punished. Chain ability, send Reaping Blade for something. Now again, I don't have AB, so I think my downfall here is that I'm not playing AB in the deck. We'll see if that's going to matter. Luckily, I have an Arcane Polarity in my hand this turn, so... Interesting. We'll probably just pitch into that into send. Well, we can't. No, we can. Just kidding. What am I talking about? The hell am I talking about? Okay, I will take all of that. I'll heal. I'll just block 2 here. Okay. We'll see if their Soul Shackles are good or not. Send a burn-up shock. It's not the best burn up shock in the whole world, but if we can do Rav into Starfall into Snatch, it's gonna feel pretty good. Especially since they're... Whoops, what the fuck? Stop that shit. This? Both. Okay. I just skipped it too quickly. Rav Rabble. For 4. And again, they don't have a rune chant out right now, so their reduced to rune chants are going to cost more. Interesting. Okay. I mean, you stunted out a burn-up shock turn again, but you have no hand. You banished a card, you're going to take one to Blood Debt? My turn is unfortunately going to be a setup turn, I think. 11 incantation. We can probably just send... This is going to be kind of rough for me, I think. They also didn't chain on their turn, so... rough for them. I think I'm going to... send us... Yeah. Get myself a rune chant set up for next turn, and then just come in for 3. And then I'll park this Lightning Surge in Arsenal, and then we'll just hope for the best, effectively, here. So 3 damage, shooting it at them. They can choose to block it or not. If they block it, sure. If they don't, no worries. They have probably, I'd assume, 2 more reduced to rune chants, 3 more, maybe, if they're on yellows, right? Park this in Arsenal, keep this in hand, hope that we have a Ravenous Rabble and a Scarfer Scar in our next hand. Okay. Now again, they do have a full grip. It's gonna suck. Okay, actually, this is pretty good. Lightning... Go again, go again. Heal some damage. Park this in Arsenal. They have 2 in here now. Red and a blue. So they need to get a way to get rune chants out. They probably don't have rune chant generation. Maybe they do. Next attack this turn gets go again. Yep, okay, so... Spellblade Assault, so this will be for 4. Go again, make 2 chants, and also make 1 for Malefic. So if 3 chants, it'd be able to send Phantom Wraith. I see. I'm seeing the vision. I'm seeing the vision. I will maybe just give you this then. I do think the downfall of not having the Arcane Barrier is going to suck here, but they're certainly going to send, because now they can send Chain Ability, right? Chain Ability into Phantom Banshee, into like pitch to send Blade, right? Okay, I'll play this, give myself some life. 13. 7 points of damage. It's a lot, actually. I'm almost wondering if it just makes more sense to block. Right? Just let them absolutely burn through their deck. Because they're at 19 cards. I could just very well do this. into this. Just try to like push some damage, I guess. It's not very good. I actually don't think this is good at all. But I still get a rune chant for the back end, and then I get to send Starfall for 2. So this will be threatening 6 plus 2. This is 8 damage. After taking, what, 4? And they're probably not going to want to block. And they have a card in Blood Debt also. They're keeping themselves at 2 Soul Shackles. They don't seem to want to go up any more than that. They're pitching whenever I send arcane damage at them. It's probably going to save them in the long run, if I'm going to be honest. But I don't have blues in this deck, so I can't do anything like that. Reduce to Rune Chant. It's kind of good that we have the Embodiment of Earth now, though. Cool. And we're still at lower life than them, so they still can't heal off of any arcane polarities they might have in the deck. They banished a Soul Reaping, which is huge for us, actually. We don't have a lightning card in our hand. They do still have something they can do here. Chain ability, send this in for 8 and 2 chance. I think this hand just blocks. 3, 7. Then they're gonna gain, they can't gain life. So that's pretty good for us, I guess. Bop, bop, bop. Oh, that's right. Wait a minute. I have an embodiment of fucking Earth. Yo, 6? Yeah, I will just block 9 here. It's a good time to have an embodiment of Earth, I'll tell you what. I definitely fear that my loss to arcane damage is going to be the death of me here, so. Cool. My turn is going to be pass. They're going to banish top 3 cards of the deck. A Pummel, an Envelop, and a Deathly Wail. They need 3 rune chants for that. I'm assuming they have a Read the Runes somewhere. 1 is in the banish zone. 0 in the grave. And this turn we can Arcane Seed's Life. No. I mean, we can Arcane Seed's Life, Scar for Scar, Ravenous Rabble, and then Starfall, if we really want to. But their hand is going to be pretty good for them, I'd imagine. There's no way they don't have another Spellblade Assault to get another 2 rune chants. If they do that, they'll get a rune chant off the Malefic. Giving a thinking, please bear with me. If they pay any amount of resources to send a Spellblade Assault at me with Go Again, I then go ahead and I can block that if I really wanted to, I guess, but it's just going to be 4 Go Again into 6 Go Again. Probably more if they have a Beseech the Demagon. They're probably dealing lethal, if I were to guess. Even the 3 rune chants here is like pretty awful to me. I would imagine their plan here should just be try to figure out how they're going to play rune chants at me. Yeah. Read the Runes pass? Yeah, you want to activate Chain first, right? It might be activate Chain, Flying Kick, that into Spellblade Assault, into pass. Possibly. Phantom Wraith. So they had a hand of like all reds effectively. This is for 5. And then read the runes pass. What if I just said no blocks here? I guess I die to rune chance next turn, right? So I probably want to block something. A little bit of it, maybe. I mean, just block 5, I guess. I kind of want to keep myself alive, and I can still send like 8 points of damage here, so read the runes pass. Okay. Cool. Take 1 to blood debt. Alright, their turn is gonna be so freaking good here. I don't think there's any way we live past this next turn, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't think there's a world in which that happens. They're gonna mill 4 cards from the top of their deck. It's gonna be like all Rune Gate stuff. Yep, they're taking it all because they know they can kill me. But we do have an Embodiment of Earth, so we'll see exactly what we draw into on this turn. Ooh, one of these. All right, 3 cards in there. They have a Deathly Whale, a Phantom Wraith, 4 Rune Chants, 2 Malefic Incantations. So they can send a Deathly Whale with Go Again into a Phantom Wraith, just pushing more and more damage in that regard. You're threatening 4 Rune Chants. You pop this one here, you're threatening 5 Rune Chants. I die to arcane damage. I guess it would be 7, so I'd have to block it all. If you can find a way to get literally any more Rune Chants here, you definitely will win this. Chain ability. I guess you get Rune Chants by the Deathly Whale, right? You break the chain, get the Rune Chants, and then, yeah. Never mind. That's how you kill me. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. Dang. Dang. 6, 3, 6. Break the combat chain, pop the Runehold release, send another Deathly Whale at me. I lose because I don't have AB. So that's the thing, is I kind of want to have like a point of damage, like a way to prevent kind of everything in the deck. It's kind of why I lean more towards Guardian, is because I'd much rather have like the ability to block something out. And having to block with that Arcane Seed's life meant I did not get to gain life. A pummel. Oh, I die for sure. Good game. You got it. That's good. Woof. Big woof. Big freaking woof. That was crazy. Maybe a Spellblade Assault in hand. I mean, they killed me on Arcane alone, right? This gets popped. You close the combat chain. You get the Rune Chant from dealing arcane damage to me. You then pop the Runehold release. Comes in for 4. You just swing whatever the hell you want from there. And then do that. But Pummel does in fact kill it, so it's pretty good. Pretty good, I gotta say, pretty good. Maybe we should try out the Pummel, the other deck too, while we're at it. Let's see. What do we got? What do we got? I want to try out this list. See what this is all about. Bodice, Ebb and Fold. Let's see. Chain Comp. Stage. Let's see what he's got going on here. Out of the list, we've got Blade Beckoner, Boots, Blood-Torn Bodice, Evan Fold, Null Rune Boots, Reaping Blade. And Runehold Release. And Arcane Cussing. Still a very interesting card to have. Arcane Polarity. One in the sideboard, I'd imagine. Blessing of the Occult. Bounding Demagon. Condemned to Slaughter. One, I'd imagine the sideboard. Deathly Delight. Deathly Whale. What else? Let's see. Malefic. Incantation. Mauve. One Pummel. Probably in the main board, because why not? Putrid Stirrings. Main there. Also for already in February? Oh, okay. Well, I'm already here. Usually they don't, like, I didn't know that they even kept updating that, because I know February lists hadn't been, like, updated in a long while. So I wasn't curious. I wasn't sure if they were still doing that. So I'm just taking it right off the main board here. Vigil of Suffering. Soul Reaping. Spellblade Assault. Whoops. Yes. I think we play the reds and we play the blues. Bantam Banshee. Bantam Wraith. This is all colors. Malefic Incantation Yellow. A Yellow Mauve. We have Reduce to Runechant Yellow. Hocus Pocus. Blue. Oath of the Arknight. Blue. And one card off? That's weird. Hocus Pocus, Oath of the Arknight, Spellblade. Oh, one Malefic. Where? Okay. Malefic Incantation, yellow. So 47 cards in the main deck here. So some of these need to be moved, obviously. Assuming this gets put down here. I would imagine Putrid Stirrings probably goes. I'd imagine Sigil of Suffering probably goes. Maybe the Yellow Mauve goes, and then the 2 yellow Reduced to Runechant. That looks correct. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. I think we're probably going to do this last one just to kind of test it out and see. And then we will be heading offline for a little bit just to get some other content done here. I will go first. Hello, would like a fun. I think I guess I play Null Rune Boots into that because that's apparently what I do. I play this, I play these. I don't play some of my 2 blocks. I don't play Cussing. I don't play Blessing. Yeah. Admit. We will go ahead and we will chain. I will send you Bantam Wraith. I will attempt to pummel it. Could also just park the pummel in Arsenal, but I think if I can sneak some additional damage in here, we'll feel pretty good about it. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. I should have kept an Arsenal maybe, but 5 damage. Nice. Have to get rid of a card anyway. Gain polarity. Gain. Holy shit. So that's huge value for us. So they only gained 2 life off that. They also started their beginning hand with both arcane polarities. That is actually insane. Yeah, we'll just pass. Okay. Weave lightning. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like pummeling maybe on turn 0 was not warranted. I feel like I could have just sent the Reaping Blade and been okay. Send 2. I will say nothing to the 2. We're not dealing with a burn-up shock turn, so. Braces of Belief. Snatch for 6. I didn't see a Lightning Press. Also, why would they play this if it wasn't going to fuse any, if it wasn't going to give a buff to anything? There's the press. Sure, that's fine, I guess. You can have 3 damage. Okay. We did get a Phantom Wraith. Kind of cool. We are, in fact, just going to chain here. I'm going to do this. Pitching this. Here we go again. Into a Spellblade Assault to get me 2 Rune Chance, and then I will... Yes. Get that all set up. Looks like they're blocking with a weapon. Okay. 2 Chance in the back. We already have a Banshee set up in there too, so we'll be in a good spot there. Yeah, because like theoretically I could have sent 4 into 7 if I pop my Runehold release, but I really want to like wait for that. Because they're not going to take anything, so... Take 1 from Blood Debt. They also have no AB, so again, we're going to deal with a fun little thing where we just don't care about that. Block 4. Block 4. Send 4 again? Golly, this is going to be a good hand, huh? Take 4. Sizzle. Second strike. That's pretty good. 7 goes. What if we just give you all of that, I guess? Because this hand is kind of bad, if I'm going to be entirely honest. It's not that great. I'm taking 1 to Blood Debt and passing. I fear the unfortunate part for this is that the tempo is so in the favor of my opponent here that I don't know I could even recover. I guess I can still send 7 and 3. See if they pop their chess piece. Ooh, they're Soul Reaping. I think I'm just gonna have to threaten damage here. Just important that I do it. I should have chained ability. Ah, shit. Yeah, because I've done that. Chain, send 7 with 3, and then Bloodthorn Pot is one of my shackles to send 3. Stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid. Stupid. A 13 damage turn. For like nothing. They have got to have the nuts. There's no way they don't. Can I live here, actually? That might be crazy as hell. Block 3. Weave Lightning. Malefic Incantation. Garland Spring. Starfall? Do we get there? I think we get there. What is it going to come in for? Like 7? Rune Chant. Yeah, 7 and a chant. Ping you for 1. Take 3. Bloodthorn Bodice. Destroy a Soul Shackle. Good game. Crazy. Let's go. Okay. That was nice. Interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah. So that was Send Blade. They were coming up on an Arcane Seed's life. Didn't have it in their hand. That is what would save them there, is that Arcane Seed's life. That would allow them to heal 1, and then I'd be sending 3. They'd have to give me one of these cards, probably the Nimblism. But if I was at lower life, I'd have been dead. Okay, I can see how this is kind of fun. I could see how that's a fun thing. For sure. But anywho, that's all for me today. I'm going to be heading on out of here. We've played like 3.5 hours of Silver Age games. So if you are enjoying the stream, if you had enjoyed the stream, if you enjoyed our talks about Valencia and all that other stuff, feel free to go ahead and like the stream here. Of course, subscribe to the channel as well if you'd like so already. I know our we're right around, I want to say like 25-ish more subscribers until 3,000. So if you are joining us today and you are not subscribed to the channel, just know you're doing me a huge solid, and it would be a great birthday gift for me. My birthday is in 2 days, and I'm very happy to be celebrating something like that with all of you. So let's see if we can get there. Worst case scenario, though, we'll definitely be making it by the end of the year, because I see the growth, I see how much we're doing, and I'm very happy to continue to be doing that for all of you. So stick around if you enjoy Silver Age content. That's pretty much what we're doing over here on the channel, is getting people the door open for what they want in their life. And so hopefully this is a nice way for them to join Flesh and Blood and play the game and see the world and do all that stuff for a nice little budget. You only have to spend money on travel at that point. So yeah, that's it for me though. So thank you all for hanging out today. I really appreciate it. Keep an eye out for more Silver Age A to Z series as we continue on into the rest of this week. And then I hope everybody had an awesome Thanksgiving and had a good Thanksgiving weekend, and just keep being awesome. And I hope you all continue to have fun, Flesh and Blood. And I will see all of you beautiful Ashwings in our next live stream. All right. Bye, everybody.